Are you fucking turn that shit off? I might stab somebody. What's happening, brother?
Not much, man. I'm feeling great.
Everything all right? You feeling good? What's happening out there in fucking Podcastville? We're back, bitches. We're back. That's right. We never fucking left. Joey Diaz, his main fucking partner in crime. Lee Sayat of the Jewish descent. That's how I like him. Everybody all right? Everybody beautiful today? Get up, jerk off, wash your ass, do some jumping jacks. They're waiting for you out there. There's an asshole waiting for you to fuck, suck, or throw a tic-tac in something, you know what I'm saying? What's up, Lee Sayat? Talk to me. How's the juicing going?
It's going great, but I had something weird happen last night.
What happened?
I felt bad about it. Like I don't really feel guilty that much, but I felt guilty.
What happened?
I'm taking a trip in a couple weeks. And
where are you taking a trip to?
Just Vegas for the weekend. Right. But I'm leaving right after work, and I'm going to drive there, and I was like, oh, I'll stop and get food. And I got really excited about stopping at McDonald's and getting food. And I know I'm not supposed to, and it'd be bad, but like I was looking forward to it.
It's over. You're not doing that no more.
And then, but like an hour in, like I've been thinking about this for like a week because I'm like doing nothing but craving food. But last night I was sitting there, I was like, if I just went to Ralph's or anywhere and got some turkey and made some turkey sandwiches, and even if I had a bag of chips, that would take just as much time, be cheaper, and it'd be easier. And like I felt guilty for wanting it. Like it's, I mean, you lost more weight than I did for wanting what? The McDonald's.
Yeah, no more McDonald's. That's out of your mindset. It's like me with cocaine. It's out of your life.
Yeah, but you with cocaine and with what you did with weight too. I mean, you must have like the cravings, and it's just I felt guilty for having them.
I was hungry last night. I was fucking starving. When I stay home and I don't do comedy on those type of nights, like last night I could have done comedy, but the problem is I get home at 12:31, then it takes me an hour to fall asleep, then I got to come back here at 5.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that to the people. I don't want to do that to myself, and I'm running all fucked up all day. So I stopped doing comedy on Tuesdays. So last night I was home. And again, Lee, I had 2 fucking apples and a knife of peanut butter, and I went to bed.
Yeah.
I have cravings every night, but I'll tell you how I take care of my cravings. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Nothing's going to be worth it. Nothing's really going to be, and that's why I say to you, I don't understand when you put, like I always say to you, when I was in Jersey, I would go to the Berkshire Diner and get a steak sandwich deluxe, which is chopped steak on 2 pieces of toast, mildly toasted with butter.
Yeah.
So the gravy goes into the fucking steak and the french fries. That's what I want to eat at 12 o'clock. An In-N-Out burger ain't going to cut it for me.
Yeah. I mean,
In-N-Out ain't going to cut it for me. I don't really like those fries. I don't like any of those fucking fries anybody gives you. I do like Five Guys fries.
Oh, yeah. Those are great.
You can't get those at midnight or 11 o'clock.
No.
Number 2, what's real important is, do you know who's got the best fries in fucking all of California?
Oh.
You know that dirty, fucking dingy store on Lancashire up the block from the Ha-Ha? It's like a little hut. Have you ever eaten in there?
I think I know what you're talking about. I've seen it. Yeah.
They have a little steak sandwich, and they have a chicken teriyaki for lunch. I mean, the chicken teriyaki, you take your life in your own hands when you eat it. There's a lot of colors that I've never seen on a chicken, unless this fucking chicken grew up in the Bahamas or something like that.
Yeah.
But their steak sandwich is delicious, but their fries are off the hook. I don't mean to throw you off. What I'm trying to say to you is nothing is worth it.
And that's what I thought about with the turkey sandwich.
No chips.
Yeah, that too.
No chips. That's Weight Watchers. 2 pieces of whole grain toast or bread, a little turkey, a piece of Swiss, a little mayonnaise, and that's it. You eat half of it, you put the other half down, you eat an apple or a pear or a Chinese apple. You put that down, then you eat the other half.
Yeah.
You know, Subway, I fucking hate Subway. But if you're starting a diet, Subway is good because you will usually eat a foot long.
Yeah.
I could do a foot long and a half.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I ain't gonna bullshit you, but I'll do a 6-inch with a half a bag of chips and a Diet Coke. Because I can't eat a fucking sandwich like that with water. I'll fucking hang myself. And I hate Diet Coke, but you drink what you drink, you know?
Yeah. And I feel bad talking about it because I don't want to be boring, but I mean, the reason why I liked podcasts years before I did this one is I like when people are honest, and it's what I'm thinking about, and it's just I never really feel guilty, but I felt guilty for like an hour yesterday thinking about it.
You have to, but there's nothing wrong with thinking.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with dreaming and saying I'd rather you say to me, Joey, on the way out of fucking town, I want to stop at the garlic restaurant and take a meal to go.
Yeah.
You know, like I told you yesterday, and I'm the most guilty of this, but I find this out when I travel. Last week, I was in New Orleans.
Yeah.
I would love to go get fucking red fish, a piece of red snapper with 2 eggs, that andioli sausage, 2 pieces of toast. I settled for the oatmeal. I had the fucking oatmeal. That's a sacrifice.
Yeah.
And I made that oatmeal taste like pussy. I made it taste like a good piece of ass. I made it taste like a T-bone steak. You follow me? So don't ever worry about that. There's always substitutes. That's what I never knew either. I never knew there was options either. When you're a fat fuck like we are, we don't want options.
No.
No, we went to Rouse, but we couldn't find a parking spot. Who the fuck are you kidding? There's always a parking spot at the supermarket. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So don't ever feel ashamed of that, man. Hey, listen, I dream of fucking steaks.
Oh, yeah.
I dream of a T-bone steak and a baked fucking potato. But I tell you what, when I was a kid, people would say to me, hey, Joey, wait till you get older and you metabolize them. Oh, fuck you, dog. Your metabolism slows down only when you don't, let me tell you something. I do everything I can. I walk the baby in the daytime. I tell you what I've been doing lately that I never did before. The elliptical.
Oh, elliptical, yeah.
The elliptical like fucking machine. Yeah. You know, somebody said, Joe had always told me it doesn't put that much pain on your knees. I have a little pain on my knees. I've been eating the strong bone again since I've been on. I started doing the elliptical a week before I left for
New Orleans?
No. I started in New Orleans.
Okay.
At the hotel, they had one. And it's funny how I was always, there's a guy at the YMCA in Hollywood that this motherfucker's always on it. But he goes into like a trance and he's redone his body.
Wow.
Like his body was a bodybuilder's body, big on top. He's lost 60, 70 pounds. He's a doorman. He's a doorman in Studio City at one of the bars, the cheesy little bars on Ventura there.
Yeah.
And whenever I drive by my wife, I see him. He's a white dude. He used to be in male porn. Like he used to be a porn guy, and then he changed his life around. And he's the one that's always talked to me at the Y about the elliptical. And I tell you what, my arms are fucking hurting. The middle of my back hurts. You know, I started on there for 5 minutes, Lee. Went on there 5 fucking minutes. I was huffing and puffing. I was dizzy. I was cursing everybody out. Now I'm up to 30 minutes. Yesterday I did 30 minutes. I went with my wife yesterday to a mommy and me thing at the Y.
Oh, that's awesome.
So she went to mommy and me, and I went over to the fucking to the elliptical. Yeah. Well, I did the bike for 20.
Yeah.
I did the Dolce diet for 20, the run, the 2-minute walk, and 30-second run, and then I did the 30 on the elliptical, and I was fucking done.
Yeah.
I went home. My wife made fucking scallops with shrimp around them.
Oh, nice.
A nice big salad. I've been ending the day with a salad. You know, I don't know why. When I wake up in the morning, I take a nice shit. It comes out. But in the apples last night, I woke up this morning at 4:30, basically to shit. I heard Fidel go meow. I looked at the clock and I go, you know what? I got a half hour to sleep, and I go, fuck it, and I could feel it in my stomach. And those are those 2 apples.
Oh wow!
And I didn't get on the scale yet because I only go on the scale on Sundays. But let's see what the fuck happens. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what the fuck happens. You got to try, guys. You got to try at home. That's it. No more fuck. You know, the country's going through this obesity shit that I've never really understood because we're eating shitty food. They just voted that down in New York, right? The big soda tax. Let me tell you something. That is the worst fucking thing I've ever heard in my life.
Them voting it down on the tax?
No, just the whole fucking idea.
Yeah.
Just the whole fucking syndrome of that you're blaming a big... And this guy comes out with something new every fucking day. Now it's the cigarettes in New York. But if you know anything about Bloomberg, he's done a great job in New York. He really does. He's cleaned it up. Hey, man, I grew up in New York in the fucking mid-'70s. When I showed you pictures, there was garbage on the fucking streets. There was everything.
Yeah.
If you want to watch a really good movie to see how dirty New York was, watch Our Latin Thing by the Fonny All-Stars. It's on YouTube. They've broken it up into 9 fucking pieces. And look at the street scenes. It's filthy. New York is a miracle now compared to it, but you charging big money for big fucking things of soda is ridiculous. Although soda does kill you. I mean, the guy's got a point. You know, when I was a kid, my mother had the bar.
Yeah.
So we would just buy all the soda from the bar and bring it home.
Oh, of course.
So we would bill it to the bar and have my refrigerator upstairs. You should have seen it. It had Coke, 7-Up cans, back all the way.
Nice.
Like 35 of each.
Yeah.
Coke, 7-Up, Mateba, which is a Cuban soda,
okay.
And Irombel, which is iron beer, another Cuban soda. And that ran deep. And after that was just Heineken's. In my house, my mother was a Heineken drinking. Then she had 20 of them in the freezer. And she'd pop them open, mix them with fucking tomato juice or whatever the fuck that is.
Oh, wow.
I grew up on soda.
Oh, yeah.
There's no fucking lemonade. My mother made lemonade and iced tea from time to time. If you wanted iced tea, it came in a container, in a paper container that you opened up like milk container. Did you know that in the old days? Before Snapple and shit, it came in a little thing that was like a missing fat kid on there. Have you seen this missing fat fuck? Last seen going to McDonald's or whatever. Where's the reefer, Lee, cocksucker? You're holding out on me.
I'm the one holding out.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to that joint we rolled here.
You smoked it.
No, I rolled 2 of them, Lee. Don't be... You always try to trick me, cocksucker. Where is it?
I don't know.
Lee, don't mess with me today. My emotions. I got shit to do, unless the thing went into the keyboard or whatever.
No, I don't think it's that small.
What the fuck? Oh, this joint was gigantic. This thing wasn't working. There it is right here. Look at the size of this fucking bat. And I brought the bubblegum today. THC bubblegum.
Yeah. I puked when you had me doing it when I was eating, and I'm not eating now. He's coming. He's like, here, have 2 pieces of this.
Just one little piece of bubblegum. You okay?
One little piece of bubblegum. I'll pass out.
That's what you need. You're going to take a nap after I leave anyway.
I won't make it to the nap.
The fuck is the matter with you? Huh? You go on this fucking eating trees, and now you don't want to eat a piece of fucking THC gum with your Uncle Joey. What the fuck's what's the world coming to? Huh?
It's horrible.
Come smoke some butter, Lee. Huh? It's the morning. Why are you acting like this? You didn't drink no coffee here.
I don't drink coffee. Oh, you said smoke. I didn't know what you said.
What the fuck you think I'm talking about here?
I don't know. I never know.
It's a beautiful fucking day to be alive, cocksuckers. For you fat man alert. Fat man alert. You go to New York and drink soda like it's a fucking all-you-can-drink bar. Fat guys don't want to go to New York now because they can't drink soda because of fuck what people
Well, let me ask you this. What they said was one of the reasons why they turned it down, or one of the reasons when they were talking about it, was that it wouldn't... You could still buy like 2 or 3 sodas. You just couldn't buy anything bigger. Would a ban stop you? Wouldn't you just get a couple more sodas if you wanted it?
You know, man, sometimes you figure out where these fucking people get their thoughts from.
Yeah.
You know, cocaine was 100 a gram. It didn't stop nobody.
No.
Didn't stop anybody.
There's a town in Massachusetts that banned bottled water.
Good for them. Good for fucking them. Finally, somebody sees the real scam in fucking life.
It's ridiculous.
I like them to test bottled water and see how clean that fucking water is.
I'm sure it's not any cleaner.
And see what swamps they get it from and what... I want to see the fucking glacier. I want to see the fucking glacier they get this water from. I don't believe this shit either, but the water's filthy. In 3 years, you won't be able to drink the fucking water from the ocean. They tell you now what they're putting in it. What have they been putting in it for the last 3,000 fucking years?
Oh, yeah. Well, look, I could read there's ingredients on it, isn't there? Oh, there should be.
Yeah, it comes from some fucking resort in fucking
No,
Texas.
this one. Ralph's doesn't put it on there, so
Fuck
you know
no,
it's
they're all
awful.
in the water business. They're all in the fucking water business now. You go to the dentist, he's in the water business.
Absolutely.
My dentist's in the fucking water business. The dental bottles have his name. He gets the water from some fucking faucet. You ever see that bullshit with Penn and Teller?
No, what?
They had an episode of bullshit where they actually went to a water bar in Beverly Hills.
Oh, yeah, and they did it in the back out of a tub or something. I heard about that.
Out of a fucking hose. And these idiots believe it. You know, but you know what? If you're going to act like an idiot, we're going to keep treating you like an idiot. Whether it's buying iPhones every 4 months, whether it's fucking buying remastered and redigitalized movies for the 8th time.
Yep.
You know, they keep reselling Beatle albums, and these idiots keep fucking... By the way, I will tell you something. This weekend I got a little baked. I was trying to write that letter for Omar.
Okay.
I'm trying to redo my bio, a bunch of shit. And I was listening to fucking the Beatles, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Are you fucking kidding me? When you put the Beatles on, now, today, people, if you're not a Beatle fan, listen, I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to get mad at you. If you think I got posters of fucking Ringo and John on my wall, you're mistaken. If you think I grew up with posters of Ringo and John on my wall, you're fucking mistaken also. But do me a favor today. In your spare time, either put Revolver on or Abbey Roads or Let It Be. Put on one of those fucking albums and see what these guys really were about. Because you're going to listen to it and go, Joey, what the fuck are you talking about? I want you to think it was 1966 It was 30 years ago today. What, are you fucking kidding me? I mean, that Sgt. Pepper's was so good. And see, a lot of people don't know the history. At that time, they would listen to this shit. Oh, Abe Lincoln fucking freed the slaves. Let's see who laid it down in music. These are the guys right there.
Did you ever see that movie they did? It was like a Long Hard Night or whatever.
Yeah.
That was a great movie.
The Help. All, you know, now you're watching, you're like, what the fuck was I thinking? It's like watching the Monkees.
That's a weird scam. A bunch of the stuff I watched in school was about the 70s and stuff like that, about film history. And the Monkees was a made-up band that went crazy, like, popular. Like, I don't even understand how that's possible.
You know, in Studio City, I'm friends with a guy that I think the drummer Mickey Dolenz
Okay.
is friends with. So every time the guy would do something, that fucking knucklehead would show up with his little fucking hat on. Like he thought he was the drummer. He thought he was like fucking John Bonham. He drives me crazy. And every time the guy calls me in for a meeting for something, he always goes, we're putting this together. We're going to have Mickey from what the fuck are you doing? And then when they wouldn't play together, who the fuck knows? They did a reunion thing. Who gives a fuck? I was a Green Hornet fan anyway. Fucking the Beatles, the Monkees.
Oh, jeez.
You gonna smoke some of this with me?
I just did smoke.
You got me over here solo. Burn some calories. Come over here with your Uncle Joey. It's a beautiful day to fucking be alive.
Is that your plan, just to scam to get me to work out, walking back and forth?
Why not? You're gonna have to go to the workout eventually.
I know.
You can't
I
all
do.
do this drinking fucking pineapples and prune trees. Eventually, you're gonna have to go see the bitch. I know you don't want to do it. You don't like it. You know, you think women like taking in the ass? No, but they do it because they gotta pay the rent.
Luckily, I don't have to pay the rent by working out.
Oh, eventually you will, because you need to pay the rent. You need to work out because you need to be healthy.
Yeah.
It keeps you diabetes. Oh, you got diabetes in your family?
I don't think so. I definitely have heart issues. I don't have diabetes, though, luckily. That's one of the main reasons that I
got drug
to do
issues
this.
in my fucking family, heart issues. Those fucking junkies. It's really, what happened, buddy? I'm sorry.
No. I was just saying, like, the diabetes is one of the main reasons why I decided to do this.
Do you believe in any type of religion at all?
No.
Do you think there's a higher power? Do you think there's somebody who guides you in particular?
When I was younger, I would have said absolutely not. Just, I had a bad experience with it, because Judaism is a weird religion when you're not. I was Reform, which is like the lowest end. And if you're not Orthodox, it's kind of a weird thing, because you don't speak Hebrew, so you're just sitting there and doing stuff that they tell you, and you don't understand anything. So I don't believe in God just because it doesn't make sense to me. I don't want to say that there's no higher power just because no one. To me, it kind of sounds stupid if you say absolutely not. That's just me, but I don't think so. But then again, I think I more believe in like karma and stuff like that. I definitely believe in that more than something that's like a
Do you believe
higher
something
power.
that guides you at times? I mean, you think back to your 25 years. I mean, you don't remember anything before you're 10. You think to your 15 years. Do you think you lucked out at times? Do you think luck was made by, opportunity and what people say luck is opportunity and whatever together? I mean,
I believe more in fate than I do in higher
believe
power.
in fate. It's funny. A friend of mine's and I got a call Monday night that a friend of mine that I knew had lung cancer. He had the sun cancer.
Melanoma, I think.
Melanoma in his head, and it went to one of his lymph nodes.
Fuck.
He's a great. I mean, I'm very lucky because yes, I had an unorthodox childhood, and for some people they'd feel sorry. They go, "Oh my God, how'd you do it?" I did it because God took my family. I've said this 1,000 times. I want people to think about this. God took my family, but He gave me something else. He gave me the gift of friendship.
Yeah.
People have no idea. People will live their whole life and not know what the gift of friendship is because they'll run with people and they just live their lives. When you really think about your life and the people around you, you know that Jesus Christ, this guy was my friend for these particular reasons or whatever. And as you know, in my childhood, a lot of people tend to run away. The people that stayed around, I love them with all my heart because I know what was going on at that time and it was very easy to fucking run. In life, it's very easy to run. It's very hard to stay. And especially with friends, and sometimes there's a guy that you know is your friend, but he has a bad fucking month and everybody runs from him. And if you stay together, you're strong, and I never ran out of friends. I really never did. I I never really tried to, unless the chances you got to tap out. There comes a day. But it was weird. In 83, I didn't know where I was going. I was just a lost fucking kid. You know, I was 21 years old. I was 20. I had no direction. I get emails from people. I had no direction, guys. No direction. I was my own disciplinarian.
Okay.
And I know one thing about that time. That I think back about it. It was February of 83, and I will tell you something. If I didn't leave New York at that time, I wouldn't have made the holidays.
Wow.
I do know this. I do know with all the repercussions that I did in 1982, from all the shit I was doing, that eventually it was going to go to somebody. By that time, I hadn't beat my godfather yet for the money, and I hadn't really gone to war with my stepfather, but I had gone to war with other people, and I knew that something bad was going to happen. Doesn't take a genius to know you're going to go into the city, got a bag of coke, you're going to get out of a car, and you're going to walk into somebody having a beef, and you're going to catch a bullet.
Yeah.
Something was going to happen to me. And it's funny, growing up in high school, there was this family, the Burkles, and the one that was my age, we didn't get along.
Okay.
We never got along. This is what adds worse to the story. We never got along. He was in a little group called the Boys or something like that with a bunch of good guys. But I had a party, and they were invited, and I disrespected them at the party, and they got pissed off at me because I didn't pay attention to them. They thought that I had just invited them to the party at my house. I invited everybody. They didn't like who was upstairs, and they left. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, okay.
That was 30 years ago. I still talk to them now. We're adults, and there was a lot of those guys that went with me that dissolved. Nobody ever said nothing to them because they didn't want to go to war. It just happened. But Burkle was one kid when I was a sophomore or junior. I went up to get weed one night or something, and he was with 4 of his buddies, and he thought he was tough, and he came over to me, and we kind of wrestled, and they broke it up, and we just left it at that. We never really talked or communicated. And do I have ill feelings for him? Whatever. You know, I wouldn't piss on him if he was on fire, but he had 3 brothers. He had one brother that went to Brown. He had another brother that was fucking gone. He wasn't out. He had another brother that went to the Air Force Academy. And I had never known them. I knew that were just tough kids. They were tough German kids, big kids. They're very intelligent. The mother was a principal, and these guys were like Ron. Ron, the one I didn't get along with, was a fucking dunce if you look at him.
Okay.
But school-wise, fucking guy was off the level A's. These guys drank every night and smoked pot and did acid and listened to music and lifted weights. They were all power lifters of sorts. And one night I'm in this Joe Mary's bar. Like I said, I have nowhere to go in my life. I'm just sitting in this bar eating Quaaludes, doing blow, doing crimes, and no direction. And he walked in, and it was like we started talking about something. And next thing you know, he started pushing Colorado on me if I wanted to go. And we chipped on a car together. We bought a car together. And he had to go. I don't know if you know this story. He had to come back to Colorado. But I was about to rob this drug dealer. So I kept saying to him, dog, give me 2 more weeks. But it's like anything else. It seemed like I didn't want to go.
Yeah.
Like I was stalling him. So he left without me. And I went to a travel agent, bought a ticket, and I was going to have him pick me up in Aspen. And all of a sudden, 3 days later, I see him at the bar. And I go, what happened? And he goes, the transmission blew. I had to get towed back.
Oy.
And right there, that was my sign. From who? To this day, I don't know. Because if that transmission wouldn't have broke, I would have never gone out there.
Yeah.
But that transmission broke and made him come back. And when he came back, I left for sure. I left whether or not I think I robbed somebody else and just left just out of fucking principle. Well, that kid's been really sick. You know, he had the cancer, he came out here and we hooked up. And he's another guy that's a Church of What's Happening Now guy. He called in, Jimmy Burkle.
Yeah.
And he said that, when he found out he had the cancer, when he got a little better to go back to work, he said, I'm not going back to work. He goes, if I'm going to die in 2 years, I'm going to die on my terms. I'm going to fish. So he became a professional fisherman for 2 years. And he entered some contests, and he took 80th in some Baja fishing thing. So I really admire him. But I got the call the other night he was on his deathbed.
Oh, no.
But if I didn't say goodbye to him this week, I would miss him. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Sacramento Thursday.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard nothing, so it's Wednesday. Even if he dies tomorrow, the wake won't probably be, it's a big family. The funeral won't be till Monday. So
okay.
I could at least fly home fly out Monday, take a nap, and wake up and go to the funeral and come back Monday night or Tuesday morning.
Is he still in San Diego or is he back in Jersey?
No, they're in Jersey.
Okay.
They're in Jersey with their wife and stuff, but it's just really weird that I thought about it. I didn't know who brought him into my life. I mean, I didn't grow up with him. He was 3-4 years older than I was. And it's so weird who brought him in. Was it the spirit? Who brought this guy in? At this time, it wasn't karma, because the only karma I had coming to me was bad fucking karma. There was nothing good about my life.
We got a call come in.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, good morning, Mr. Heun. How are you? Conor Heun on the phone today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for calling, brother.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it. I'm a big fan of the show. I use it to, listen to when I'm on the treadmill or not the treadmill, the exercise bike.
Okay.
I'm in the gym, and it always makes me laugh. Like I'll be on the bike over there riding, and people look over at me, laughing my head off. Like who's this asshole on the phone with? I got my headphones in on the iPhone, but no, it's great, man. Good to hear you.
Good to hear you. So you've had both your surgeries. How many surgeries have you had?
Fuck. In my life or just recently?
No, just recently.
4.
Wow. So this last injury you got was against Ryan Couture, correct?
Yeah.
And what exactly happened?
Well, I've got torn labrums or I had torn labrums in both the hip. People are familiar with the labrum in the shoulder as being like sort of a ring of tissue that surrounds that joint. Well, you got labrums in your hips too, and basically they create a seal between the ball of the femur and socket of the pelvis. And if that rips, like when it's sealed up, it keeps some fluid and some like lubricant in that joint. But when that rips, either from trauma, from overuse, from throwing 500 kicks a day on the heavy bag, whatever it is, when that rips out, then that lubricant drains out, so the joint isn't as cushioned, isn't as lubricated, and then you get your early onset osteoarthritis. You get all these issues from that that tissue breaking down, and so yeah, after that fight with Ryan, I went in and got checked out, and the docs basically said that both of my hips were shot, that I had torn labrums on both sides, and that the joints were all messed up basically, and they wanted to go in. A bunch of these doctors in LA wanted to go in and just give me a double hip replacement, chop off the top of both my legs and hammer a metal rod down in there and and say, okay, here you go, dude. you got 2 metal legs. And I told him, my dad's got a dual hip replacement like that, and he's still out there. He's snowboarding, and he's doing jiu-jitsu, and he's doing his thing. But he had them put in, I don't know, 20 years ago. So he was probably, no, it wasn't even 20 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. So 10 years ago or something like that. But he was like 50 when they did this. I'm 33 at the time, and they're like, you're pretty damn young to have double metal hips. So luckily my mom sent me a letter or a newspaper clipping. She knew I was dealing with it after the surgery, getting looked at, going to all these different doctors, getting different opinions, and she sent me a newspaper clipping of this doctor that had just moved to Boulder, Colorado, and how he was sort of a hip guru, this hip specialist, one of the top doctors in the world, and he had this new procedure. So I flew out to Colorado, or actually drove out to Colorado, to see him and get his opinion. And he basically said, yeah, I can, I'll make your hips better than they've ever been, and I'll get you back 100%. We'll get you back in the cage, and get you ready to go. So then I said, let's do it. I did my research on him, and then August 3rd, they went in and scoped my right hip. They went in and repaired the labrum, cleaned up the sort of the shrapnel in the joint from that fight, or just everything leading up to that, basically my life, and cleaned that out. And then 10 days later they went back in, or 12 days later they went back in and did what's called a PAO, which it's this cutting edge surgery. Basically, they said that part of the issue, part of the reason that my labrum tore in the fight was due to the shape of my hip. Like, I was born with a slightly displaced hip. You hear about hip dysplasia with, dogs, Rottweilers. That's where I'd heard about it before. But apparently people get it too. And I had a mild case of hip dysplasia on the right side that the doctor looked at everything. He said, okay, I'm going to go in and I'm going to repair the damage from this fight. I'm going to repair the labrums that you tore. But it may happen again. If you're going to go out there and a kid gets the hooks on you and flattens you out and is cranking on you, or you get caught in one of these submissions, just because of the way your body is shaped, you're sort of at a greater risk for this to happen again. So instead of just repairing this tissue and hoping that everything's going to be all good, I'm going to go in and I'm going to perform this para-acetibular osteotomy, which is this fancy hip surgery where they go in and they basically cut the pelvis and rotate it to give you a different connection, between the socket of the pelvis and the ball of the femur. And they go in, they cut my pelvis in 3 places, twisted it forward, basically gave me a whole new, a whole new pelvis, whole new hips, whole new shape down there. And, they told me that I'm going to be able to frickin', head kick everybody and put my ankles behind my head and do all sorts of shenanigans once I'm out of here. But, so I'm just sort of waiting it out, taking it slow and then, going through the process, trying to learn the lessons or whatever.
What was really interesting last night is when we spoke, you basically said that that's it, you're not fighting anymore. And I was blown the fuck away on how you told me and how you spoke about your future and what you were going to be doing and opening up a gym. Like, most guys would be cracked. I would be fucking cracked. You're a young man.
Yeah,
you still have 5 to 6 years left.
Yeah, at some points it's difficult. I guess making the decision, announcing the decision to retire. I announced it back in January, 2 days after my mother's birthday. A little late birthday present for her, because she was. She called me crying when she heard about it. My dad saw a video I put up on the internet, and she was, oh, thank you, that's the greatest gift anybody could ever give a mother, never having to, know that their son's going out there to battle. But it was sort of hard to give it up, but I feel like I got into fighting for certain reasons. I got into fighting to overcome fear. And I've done that, and I'm no longer afraid. I no longer, other people no longer have the ability to make me feel marginalized or fear for my physical well-being, and that's a tremendous gift that I've gained through this whole process. And I sort of feel like I've proved everything that I really need to prove. There's a million guys out there training, and a bunch of bad motherfuckers, And to know that I was in there at one point, sure, my goal was always to be the champion, and it's hard to give up on those goals. But one of the things, that I've sort of realized through this process is that you have to grow, you have to evolve, and I'm sort of looking to go from a soldier, that soldier mentality, grind, push forward, hard work, never give up, to a general mentality where a man can look at the situation and say, well, I might lose this battle to win this war, and can make executive decisions and not really marching forward like a soldier, just blindly going forward to scrap. I've already proved that I can scrap, that I can fight through adversity, and it's time for me to take the lessons that I've learned on my journey towards sort of this place of self-acceptance and teach those to other people. Nothing beats seeing the look on a kid's face when he gets his first win in a wrestling match, or when he lands his first combo in sparring that you taught him, and he's like, oh man, this shit works. When you can take a little kid who doesn't believe in himself, a 12-year-old kid, and give him some techniques and some tools so that he feels confident about who he is, and he doesn't feel that other people can marginalize him. You're changing the world. You're giving a kid who could have been bullied and then become a bully, giving somebody the opportunity to live as their most authentic self, and that's beautiful.
That's fucking beautiful, and I hope you motherfuckers at home are taking notes. That really is beautiful. One big question I have for you is, when you went into fighting to overcome your fear, what were you scared of? What was the fear that you really had? Because we're all fucking scared, Conor, or something. I go to acupuncture to fight my fear of needles, believe it or not.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it's all about. I think, doing the thing that's hard to do. I feel like fear is a teacher for us, and it points out areas where we may be deficient, and by confronting that fear and by looking that fear in the face, you saying, hey, I'm going to go in here and I'm worried about needles. I'm going to go get some acupuncture and hope that it helps me deal with my anxiety. Well, just the act of taking action is incredibly empowering, and that's one of the things that's great about fear, is that it can inspire us to action. They talk about that fear response, that fight-flight response, and in humans, it's fight, flight, or freeze. And they talk about how a lot of people, encounter these difficult situations or traumatic situations, and they freeze, and they don't ever shake off that negative vibe. Like a deer runs out in front of your car, it freezes, and then it does that little and shakes itself off and runs off into the woods, and it's cool. But humans don't really do that. A lot of times they get frozen in these moments, and they don't move, and that residual, traumatic, negative energy or stressed out fear energy gets stored in the body. So learning to process that and to move through that, or to take action, learning that, well, okay, when I'm scared, running's fine and fighting's fine, but take action. So what was it that had me scared? I was scared of getting beat up, which is ridiculous. But it's something that stems from stuff when I was a real little kid that I've come to understand. I've been in probably 165, 170 street fights, and I've never lost. But I'm still terrified, not anymore, but I would say probably up until 5 years ago, I'd be terrified. And I remember, sitting in high school in Spanish class, and I had some kid I was supposed to meet at the flagpole at 3 o'clock. And I remember getting up to go to the bathroom and puking because I was so nervous. And, at that time I had probably 100, probably 100 and some wins in wrestling. I'd been on, the world team. I'd wrestled in France, and I was still terrified to go fight. And, when I got to Eddie Bravo's at 10th Planet, and I met Jason Chambers and Amir Renovardi and those guys. There were some guys there, Tate Fletcher, who were already pro fighters, and they, saw that I had some potential, and they, suggested. And the idea was like, man, I was puking. That kid told me at noon that I was going to fight him at 3, and I was puking and fucked up, and I just hated how that made me feel. So I was like, some guy's going to beat me up in 3 months. Like, all right, well, that's fucking scary as hell. So sign me up.
It's amazing how I still get scared 22 years later before I go on stage. And I get more scared at the little things. Yeah. Like, I get scared when I'm with Joe and we're at a 3,000-seat arena. That scares the shit out of me. But if I go to the Ha-Ha on a Tuesday night and there's 14 people, that fears me even more.
Yeah,
that is my biggest fear. And people have no idea how you get this fear, 4 minutes before you do something, and you all of a sudden your body starts to break down. You got to pee, you got to shit, your stomach hurts, your eye twitches. It's amazing how your own mind plays tricks on you. And then 2 minutes before I hear my name called, fear inside of me tells something. My balls inside of me tell fear to suck my dick, and they get into an argument. And I hear this argument inside my head, like, fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, I'm scared. Why you keep doing this? I always thought that when you attacked your fear that you were like a masochist. Like, I always thought, like, even for acupuncture, I would sit there in the beginning and go, why am I going through this? Nobody would do this because they're scared of needles. They just avoid needles. And now, 6 years later, I go acupuncture every fucking Tuesday.
That's great.
So it's that's fucking beautiful what you said today. Your attitude and how you sound. You said you're gonna go work where? Where you're getting certified to become a personal trainer. And you're gonna open up your own. I mean, you inspired me at fucking 9 o'clock last night. I was like, Jesus, I gotta go fucking do something. Collins just had surgery today, and these fucking guys opening gyms. And now you're from my favorite place in the world. In fact, I spoke to 4 people from Boulder yesterday. I spoke to Antonio Ludizio, the old man from the restaurant, who's going to call the podcast next week.
Sure, my a buddy of mine actually was building a boat with him. You know, a friend I grew up skateboarding with. Ludizio was building this boat, and he had a friend of mine named Carson Warren working with him on it. They've got like these alternative school programs out here, you know. So I had a buddy in high school getting school credit for fucking building a boat. That's pretty rad.
It's amazing that a lot of people have no idea about Colorado, and they have no idea about Boulder because
it's so damn beautiful here, man. You lived here. You know they say it's St. Niwat's curse. Once you've lived in the Boulder Valley, or you've seen the Boulder Valley, you'll be forced to return to it.
It's scary because I spoke to those people yesterday and they put me together because my biggest complaint is the airport. That's it, Connor. That's my biggest complaint is if I got a gig in Kentucky, you know, in April, you get a fucking feet of snow in Boulder or in Colorado. It could snow at a whim in April or May. I think when I lived in Aspen and shit, they used to say the snowiest months were April.
Yeah, well, that's before this global warming, Joe. You're safe out here now. It fucking doesn't snow at all.
Come on. Come on.
We've never had, you know, I live up in the mountains just outside of Boulder, up Lee Hill, you know.
I used to live on 2085 Lee Hill Road.
Yeah?
Yeah, that was right by the bus stop there. In fact, I was telling Lee.
Hell yeah.
I was telling Lee that when I lived in Boulder, you know, Lee had never been my co-host here. The Flying Jew had never been to a strip club. And I said that when I know
that. I heard him yesterday saying that, man. That guy's got to live. He's leaning up. He's doing the juice fast.
Oh, he's a fucking savage.
Road to him.
Yeah.
Now he's got to get out there and seize life by the balls.
I'm going to try. Thanks, Connor.
Boulder, the bus stop was the only strip club when I lived in Boulder. Now you put something Nitro's in there, correct?
Yeah. Nitro opened up. The first time I ever went to Nitro was right after I'd made my debut on Showtime. I fought this kid, Marlon Matias, and he broke my jaw like a minute into the first round. He was from the Shoebox Academy, crazy motherfucker, switching stance, dropped out of southpaw into regular, threw a backhand with his left hand, an overhand right that I ducked right into a knee and busted my jaw shut. So I was wired up, and I came home after that fight, after I got my jaw wired, and Nitro had just opened up. So I had just gotten my win bonus. I won on TV despite the broken jaw, and I was down there acting the fool, trying to talk to strippers through wired shut teeth and throwing my win bonus at everybody, you know. But yeah, the bus stop, that was the original.
And they're owned by a church, or they were. Do you know that?
Yeah, that they got it sold out or bought out, and then they were left to the church or something, and then the church hires some guy to run it.
Right. But something happened that some stripper freak went in there, liked it so much he died. And he left it to the fucking church. How crazy is that?
Yeah, there's some.
You know, kind of. I tell this story to a lot of people because it was very. You know, first off, I'm from Jersey and I grew up in New York, but I grew up in New York when they would shoot you in Harlem, when they would shoot a white kid in Harlem, and you know, because of that, I had credentials.
They'd shoot you just for being there?
Just for being there. But let me tell you something, my friend. I never met the people I met ever than in Colorado. And let me tell you, let's take that a little deeper. There's some people in Boulder that'll slit your fucking throat and take you into the mountains. And I want people to know that. I stress it in Boulder. When, you know, in L.A., when you're driving and you give your finger to some Mexican gangbanger and he chases you with your lowrider and calls you, hey, S.A., that's something completely different in Boulder. And I will tell you this. I had a friend in Boulder who took me to his home once, and he lived in one of those basements in the hill. He was like, I had to be 20-something, and he had to be maybe 30, and this guy was one of the baddest soldiers in the world in 1968, and he had retired to Boulder, and I go with him to the VA, and we'd talk, and he was a normal guy, but every once in a while, and when I had my problems with my ex-wife, this guy came to me and offered me his services. And I said to him, we can't just kill this guy. And I remember him looking at me. This is exactly what he said to me. He goes, this is Boulder. We don't need a gun to kill a motherfucker. And I go,
Sounds like an Eddie Bravo student.
oh my God. I go, so how are we going to do this? He goes, we're going to take him into the weeds. We're going to smack him around a little bit. I got a tree. We're going to tie him up to the tree, and we're going to put maple syrup on him, and we're going to leave him out there overnight and come back in the morning. He goes, there won't be a fucking bone left. There'll be like an elbow and a tooth. And I looked at this guy like, he goes, we'll just rub him down with the maple syrup. I'm telling you. We'll come back. There won't be nothing fucking left. And he was as serious as fucking disco, Connor. And he had a buddy who was just as crazy, who somebody had thrown acid at him in Vietnam. He was one of those guys that hung up on the hill with the patchouli juice on.
Yeah.
Do you know those dudes? And now he was a hippie, but he was a dangerous fucking hippie. Like, I learned some fucking wild lessons in Boulder, Jack. I got beat up in Boulder. They broke my rib in Boulder. The cops don't fuck around in Boulder. Did you know that I smacked a
Cops will
guy?
rough you up out here for sure.
Man, I fucking smacked a guy once for calling me a spick. And I had 2 felonies in Boulder, and I thought I was going back to jail for life for assault.
Jeez.
And Judge Bellapani, one of the best judges, he's the one that sentenced me to prison, threw it out of jail, because in the city limits of Boulder, you can't use a racial slur. Did you know that, Conor?
Yep.
So if
Yeah, they have a lot of pretty progressive laws out here.
if I call you a white fuck and you smack me, it gets drawn
Then I'm
out.
cool.
It's cool.
You gotta love that. It's a Wild West, right?
Do you know why? J.J. Flanagan, in 94, 93, he smacked a woman up on the hill because she called him a nigger. Do you remember you were too young when the CU football team with Sal and Nessie
good?
and coach.
When they were good?
When they
Yeah,
were
I remember that.
fucking really good. When they were fucking really good.
Rashawn Salam and Darian Hagan and
Darian Hagan. Oh my God.
yeah, you remember those guys?
Fuck yeah. I still remember the Stones playing where CU plays. I remember hearing
Rec Fieldhouse?
I remember hearing the Rolling Stones. You know, I don't know if I was telling you last night that I had.
You know, my dad actually, both my folks are from Jersey. My dad's from Glen Rock, and my mom's from Asbury Park.
Oh,
and
shit.
My dad actually was working at Altamont. He was working security at Altamont for that Stone show where the Hells Angels were. And he wrote a college dissertation about, it was ironic that, as Mick launched into Under My Thumb, that they lost complete control. But yeah, a Jersey boy and a Stones fan from growing up.
That's
Street Fighting Man's one of my dad's favorite songs. He always used to play that for us.
And I went to Boulder recently, and I couldn't believe how much it grew. And it changed.
It's ridiculous,
it's
man. Now
ridiculous.
you got to pay for parking. I got the credit card things. I mean, I guess it's just coming into the 21st century or whatever. But yeah, it's way different. 29th Street Mall, Crossroads Mall was gone. There's this whole new business development over there. They basically eliminated the nightlife up on the hill. The homeowners association up there, I guess, is powerful and putting a lot of pressure on the city for zoning stuff. So like Kay's China is pretty much the only bar that's survived up there.
And you got the Pearl Street Mall. Here's the beauty of it. I tell you what, the best thing about Boulder is you're gonna laugh your ass off. You're probably gonna hang up on me. But I tell you where I used to go all the time, the Naropa Institute. I learned more about life at the fucking Naropa Institute. I would take the seminars there. My buddy went to work there for a guy who had HIV in the restaurant there. Like they have like a vegan restaurant there. His name was Lenny Martinelli. Well, the guy found out he had a couple months to live. He just gave the business to Lenny Martinelli. Today, Lenny still owns the kitchen and owns restaurants around Boulder. From that donation from that guy there. Excuse me. But I used to go and take the seminars. I went and took a walking meditation.
A great school.
Fucking unbelievable. And people, when I tell them that, they look at me like, Joey, you used to go to Naropa? I'm like, dog.
Whatever, man. People's consciousness level outside of this town, sure they call it the People's Republic of Boulder.
That's why. There's Colorado and there's the People's Republic of fucking Boulder.
20 square miles surrounded by reality.
It's crazy that the cop that arrested me and shit that hated me is still a fucking cop there. His name is Detective Dave Sieper. He's still a fucking cop there. And it's amazing that, you know what? I'll tell you what, Connor, I love that you call in today. I loved it. This is one of the best calls I've had in a long fucking time. I hope that you young guys take some fucking notes from this general, as he called himself. I loved it, the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
So, what's your next move?
What's what?
What's the next move?
You know, right now I got a great job teaching MMA at Defined Defense Martial Arts, just off of 11th Street. It's like, it's just off Pearl Street, between like Walnut and Canyon, up this little alley. There's a little boutique gym in there where I teach Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and just doing that. I'm studying for the NESTA personal training exam. I take that test on the 30th, and then I'll start over at 24-Hour Fitness as a professional fitness trainer over there, and basically want to learn all their business operation stuff, client retention, sales process, all these things, because they're the most profitable fitness company in America. And then keep training, keep studying, make it out to LA once I'm healed up to train with Eddie, working towards that black belt, and continue to train at Mauricio Zingano's in Broomfield. That's my gi jiu-jitsu coach out here. So keep teaching, keep learning, keep training, and then in 2 years, basically looking to open up my own martial arts school with my best friend from high school, Tim Shirley. He's a gi jiu-jitsu guy. He's out in Pennsylvania right now. He's been slaughtering it on the gi circuit. He's a Pan Am champ. He's a bad motherfucker. And so we're going to open up our gym, and it should be it'll be the first time that a traditional gi jiu-jitsu black belt and an Eddie Bravo 10th Planet jiu-jitsu black belt have teamed up. We're both wrestlers, so we have that that grind, that work ethic. And then of course I've been fighting in the big leagues since IFL, Elite XC, and so I think that combination combined with the knowledge that I'm going to gain in the next 2 years working in Boulder, 24-hour fitness coach and my own thing here, that hopefully we'll be ready to take over, start building an army, warriors of light.
Is the Fighter Fund still open to people, or?
No, I shut that down. I mean, everybody was super generous with that, man. That was really a humbling experience for me. That whole Fund a Fighter campaign, they really stepped up to give me a platform to sort of get my message out. Initially, Zuffa wasn't paying for the surgery. Then, I got on the social media and started talking about it, and people seemed to be kind of outraged. A couple articles were written, and they realized that, a couple $1,000 or a couple $100,000 actually for surgeries here and there probably wasn't going to be worth the PR nightmare. Of having somebody in the sport who, sort of a veteran and pretty well respected in the game, getting sort of done dirty like that. So, Zuffa stepped up. When they stepped up to cover the surgery, I felt, okay, everything's sort of taking its course. They're not covering any of the rehab. So that's really what the fund was for. And luckily, I got a gangster-ass doctor. I went in yesterday, and he looked at some things and basically said, "Oh, you need another surgery." And he knows that Zuffa's their coverage has dropped off. So he just went guerrilla style yesterday. He doesn't even want me to say his name. I wish I could be blowing him up because he's such a dope doctor. But he went in guerrilla style yesterday and just said, "Okay, basically, I'm going to perform this surgery right here in the office because you're a tough guy, and I want to get you back on your feet and get you chasing your dreams again." So, super blessed, man. That whole Fund a Fighter thing, having to reach out, like having to really humble myself, that was a mental battle for me. It's like I'm the type of dude where, I sort of came up, not as hard as you at it, but I got real disenfranchised when I lost in the state finals my senior year. And basically, I'd been doing everything right up until that point in time. I'd been, studying. I've been going to school. I didn't drink. I never smoked pot. I was a virgin. I had all these ideas in my head, like if I do all this good shit, then I'll win the state title. And when that didn't happen, I sort of just swung the other way, and I was like, all right, fuck it, I'm going to take it. I'll get whatever I want. like, whatever. All right, I learned how to be a boss following these rules and guidelines that I believe were going to bring me, this goal, which is ridiculous, I realize now. But so I sort of swung the other end, and it was like, all right, I'm going to get money, I'm going to make money, I'm going to take money. And I always said, I'll be in jail or dead before I'm broke. Well, that's a young, stupid man's statement, And I realized that I'd be, it's better to be morally rich and financially bankrupt than the other way around. So that having to reach out and ask, I used to hustle and do some things, and there's always that temptation to sort of move back into that lifestyle. And with this, I came back to my hometown, I had the surgery, I was laid up, and I was in a position where I could make moves the way that I used to, or I could humble myself and I could reach out to the MMA community. And it was a very, very hard decision, but one that I'm very happy with. I feel, blessed that I had that opportunity, and that, when I reached out and I said, hey, I'm broken, I've been out of work, I've been laid up for, for what is it, a year, over a year now since my last fight, and it was a long time before I could even get up on my feet with all the, all the surgeries I had. I just started teaching probably, less than a month ago. But so for me to go from like, okay, I'm in this town, like, all right, I'm angry, I'm pissed off that I'm hurt, I could go, go hard and do some things that I was going to regret, or I could humble myself and really, throw myself on the mercy of the fans and, the mercy of just everybody out there who might have seen me fight and got some motivation from it. And I chose to do that rather than, going back to the streets. And the blessing and really what it did to my heart to see the outpouring of love from everybody really just touched me. And it just, reconfirmed this belief that I have that, you walk the path with heart and the universe will provide. And it was like I was down to, my last, I probably had $100 in my wallet when the Fund to Fighter guys, contacted me, and that all happened. And, so it really, like, this whole process has just sort of reconfirmed. It's like you do the thing that's hard to do and the power comes. You keep walking forward, you keep your head up, you keep getting up, and you try and live a righteous life, a moral life, and you'll be provided for. And I've just been shown time and time again. I'm broke as a joke, but the guy had a deer run out in front of my car and clipped my car, or I clipped the deer or whatever the other day, and apparently that's not collision, it's comprehensive. So and the damage wasn't too bad. I could, I just popped the hood out and it's a little broken grill or whatever. But I got a check from the insurance company for $1,800 to keep me grinding. So I've just learned that walk the path with heart and the universe provides.
You don't get what you want, but you get what you need, brother.
Yep.
And you're a good dude, and you're a gentleman, and when I saw that, that's why, you're a good fucking dude, Conor. You've always been a gentleman to me at the events, and you give me a hug, and I don't even know you're a fighter sometimes. I think, who the fuck is this guy?
Well, that's good, man. I'm trying to evolve. I'm trying to leave that angry little kid behind.
But at first I didn't even know. Sometimes I would go, Eddie, who's this fucking guy? He goes, that's Conor. I go, oh my God, I had him confused. I thought he was just some nice gym guy or something. And, you're a fucking great guy. And I knew that sometimes it takes something bad for something good to happen.
Yeah,
and,
sure.
You saw it right in front of you. And if I would have told you this 2 years ago, you would go fuck yourself. But sometimes it takes
you got to live it.
Yeah, sometimes it takes something bad for something good to come out, man. So I'm happy you woke up early and gave us a call. And I want you to call back in about a month and let me know how you're doing. I'll talk to you before then, brother.
Sounds good. I
All right.
appreciate it, Joey.
Thank you, Conor, for all. We love you.
Lee, keep up the juice grind, homie. You're doing big things. I know that's not easy to do, the type of sacrifice you're making. But you're inspiring people with your YouTube and talking about it and showing anybody that hey, I'm going to get out here and I can grind this. You said yesterday or something. Only the first 5 days are bad. Yeah, you guys are doing good things. So keep doing it.
Thanks
Thank
a
you,
lot,
brother.
man. That means a lot.
Have a good day, my man. Stay black.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you later.
Always. I hope you guys listen to what this motherfucker had to say, because I talked to him on the phone. He knocked me off my chair yesterday. I had a different guest lined up.
Okay.
And I went with him after talking to him.
No, he's a great guy. I saw a few weeks ago that he followed me on Twitter or something, and I looked him up, and that was great to listen to.
He had the Fund the Fighter thing, and I spoke about it. I spoke about it on these podcasts, and I spoke about it on this one, and that's what we do. That's what we do. Sometimes we help people out. What music you got for me? You haven't played a song, cocksucker?
Yes, I have. That's
Oh shit, little Biggie on a Wednesday. Pick up that fucking bong.
That's a funny thing that people don't talk about a lot. And you know from comedy, it's kind of the same thing. And it's the same in every profession, but in sports, you always think people are making millions of dollars, and everyone's Anderson Silva driving the fancy cars with endorsements. But Conor, he fought in he was still a professional fighter, but he was still in the lower level. And then he got hurt, and Zuffa wasn't going to pay for anything, and he can't make money, and he needs the insurance check to get by, and it's inspiring to hear people, because it would have been easy for him to go back. It's like me trying to go back and eating McDonald's, him doing something he wouldn't be proud of. It's something you don't think about when you think a professional fighter is always going to be rich. So that was inspiring to listen to.
People are confused, people see you on TV.
Yeah.
And they assume you're rich. They don't know that Fox Sports pays shit. Half of these Fox companies pay shit. You think like TV is a thing, like they're doing you a favor as an announcer. I don't even want to tell you what Fox pays to announce some fucking fights or games on a lower level fucking. So I just like, listen, man, one of the biggest things that holds us back as human beings is fear. Fear will fuck with you more than anything in the world. I've been doing stand-up for 22 years. I try to write a joke every fucking day. I try to perform 4 or 5 times a week. That's 25 sets a month. And I'm telling you guys that on the drive there, I talk myself out of this business. Never mind comedy. I talk myself out of the fucking business. I'm going to get a job selling shoes at Foot Locker. It's ridiculous. What if you let fear fuck with you? It'll fuck with you. It will fuck you up the ass and make you stay in the goddamn house, and depression will set in, and all these things come with it. But it all starts with that. I'm telling you, that fear grows like a fucking weed. Do not let it fuck with you. If you see something you want to do, tell fear to suck your dick. Fear is the guy that puts the negative shit in you. Listen, man, when you want to do something, the odds of you doing it with the people around you is tough enough.
Yeah.
Even with the juicing, I broke your balls. Maybe your mom said, don't do it. Anything you want to do. You want to cross the street. People will say, why not to cross that street?
Of course.
If you want to cross that street, you're going to fucking cross it. Do not let fear stop you. Email me at joeycocodiaz.net. Let's talk about it. Go for it. Dieting, a career, whatever the fuck you want to do. Bro, I have fear every fucking day. Every fucking day. I have to go to meetings. I have fear. It would kill me. It would kill me if I let it. I swear to God, Lee, I'm the most scared guy. I've said it before once. I've said it 1,000 fucking times how scared of life I was as a kid. But I had no choice. Then my mother died. Oh my God. Then I had no fucking choice but to take life by the fucking bullhorns and knee it in the face. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
I hear people say a lot that when you're not scared to do something, it's time to do something else.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Have to fuck. I love fear. I love fighting with my head. Love it on a daily basis. No, I'm not going to eat this pot cookie. It's 8 in the morning.
You lose that fight every day.
I love you motherfuckers. It's Wednesday morning. Let me tell you something. Ever since I got on epileptical, whatever the fuck you call it, I tell you what, man, my back and my shoulders have been a little sore. So I went back on the strong bone because I usually, I don't take everything every day. I'm on the hemp protein. I'm on the fucking, I got the tea finally in the mail, the testosterone booster.
Oh, cool.
I'm going to try that with you guys and let you know about that. But I would go to fucking, I'll tell you what, when I go to that webpage and read what they have, I get so enthused about this shit. And I remember why I like their product so much.
Yeah.
You know what else I forgot about that I'm going to re-go on? I took them on the road. New Mood.
Oh, yeah, that helps you sleep.
Fucking amazing. So please, if you're having a problem with sleeping, you got the New Mood, you got the fucking Immune Sport, and you got the fucking Alpha Brain. If not, get the Strong Bone, get your exercise technique going, get your mind going. You know, the other day I was in a bad mood. It was just going over to the wire. So I went to kickboxing Monday. Yesterday I went to I did the other thing. And today I go to kickboxing. Tomorrow I'll get up early and go over and do the immune, the epileptical. And I'm on my way to fucking Sacramento, bitches. Also, next week, we're at the Ice House doing a live Church of What's Happening Now. My man, Vinny Curto. Did you hear that, bitches? Live. The fucking Savage, the main man, the Flying Jew, will be there. Again, what was that? Live, bitches. 626-577-1894. Get your tickets now. $10. The cheapest fucking live podcast you'll ever see in your life. Have some drinks. It's Wednesday night. What are you going to do? Watch Andy Dick on Dancing with the Stars? You fucking maggot motherfuckers. Then we got the South Beach Comedy Festival. Let me tell you something. I need that to sell. I need to go to my Miami peeps. Let me tell you in Spanish. Oye, ponte las pilas, cojones, y vaya abajo y compre dos tickets for the fucking South Beach Comedy Festival. I'm there. The 19th, they're going to add the 20th. If we do a show in Miami on the 20th, let me tell you what we're going to do outside the Fillmore. We're going to burn that motherfucker down with reefer ash. You understand me? That's how I'm going to smoke pot. We got the banana bread lady. Some people travel with their acupuncturist and their trainer. I travel with the banana bread lady. That's how I fucking roll. So I can make banana bread in any fucking city. She's going on tour with us, Lee. So you might as well put a budget in for her. Banana bread lady. Write it down. She's going on tour with us. That's illegal, Lee. Writing it down.
The tax refund.
What tax refund? Oh, what I did want to talk about was something interesting for you fucking morons. That Nick Diaz is going to jail. Let me tell you something. My wife is an accountant.
Okay.
So as soon as I moved in with my wife, she started making some changes in my personal life. And she wrote a list for me. Like, these are things you have to take care of. You have to take care of this child support and lower it. You have to do this. And every month we would tackle things. You know what the hardest thing was?
What?
You know, I started dating my wife in 1998 or 99.
Okay.
And by 2002, she had talked me into 2 years to do this. I'm going to tell you guys what it is, and you're going to fall off your seat. And I'm not going to go to jail because I took care of it. Paying my taxes.
She talked you into it?
Do you know I didn't pay my taxes from 1998 to like 2002? Did you guys know that at home? Because after my divorce and I got into comedy and I read the Lenny Bruce book, I really, really wanted to be a fucking comic, like a renegade comic. Like, I wanted life to forget about me and me to forget about life. I wanted to be the road warrior. I didn't want to pay taxes. I was going to drop off the face of the earth. That was my plan. Mm-hmm. I wasn't going to pay shit, the old child support, the old credit cards. I wasn't going to do nothing. But it wasn't that I was scared of my responsibilities. It's that I was scared of getting the ball rolling. Like how they would browbeat me when I went down there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, hi, I'm here to join Weight Watchers. Now, you fat fuck? Where were you for 20 years? You know. So little by little, we made different moves. Like, my wife got my child support lowered, and that was painless. You know, they said I owed a certain amount. My wife went over to the check cashing place and got all the money orders that I had gotten for child support and gotten the receipt, so that lowered it by $40,000. And my wife just did a bunch of shit. But one of the things, when I went to the IRS, I hadn't paid taxes. I used to take my tax receipts and rip them up and throw them away, like the 1099s. Fuck you. I wouldn't put a 1099 in there for nothing. And guys, the easiest thing in the world for me was to cut a deal with the government. If you owe taxes, first of all, they're only going to charge you for the 7 years back. So let's say you stop paying taxes in 2000. It's 2013, correct?
Yeah.
They're only going to take it today. If you went in there today, and there's no line. You sign your name, bing, Jose Diaz, you go up, what's happening? What happened? You didn't pay your taxes in 2001? No worries. What year is it? 2013? We're only going back to 2006. So you're only responsible for 7 years.
Wow.
All the other shit gets forgotten.
Yeah.
So you go, you do a paperwork, you set up a fucking payment plan, and you pay. You know what my payment was? $150 a month. For like fucking 80 years. No, for like 5 or 6 years. I doubled up on them and I paid them. I went to the state board. Same thing. I think my payment, $10,000, I think my payment was $96 a month. So for $250 a month, everybody wants to settle. Everybody wants to get paid.
Because you can't pay when you're in jail.
You can't pay when you're in jail. So if you owe taxes or you're scared of something, again, man, fear used to be my best friend because I let it beat my ass. I was scared of getting browbeat. Go down there and take care of this. For people who read that thing that Nick Diaz is going to jail, he ain't going to go to fucking jail. He's just going to say, look, I've been smoking dope for 18 years. I'm an MMA fighter. You ever get punched in the head 15 times? You tend to forget shit, okay? Taxes is not number one on your list when you get hit in the head fucking 18 times. So, that's what happens. You go down to IRS, you make an appointment, you walk in, you tell them the truth, and that's it. I'm done with my taxes. Done. Like, I'm fucking legit. If Joey Diaz is legit, who didn't pay taxes for 12 fucking years, can you be legit, people, please? This is fucking easy. This is easy. Why get these? You don't pay your taxes. They threw Blade in jail.
I was just gonna say
with
that,
his fucking fucked up teeth and biting white women and shit. They threw his black ass in jail. They don't fuck around.
Yeah, but the difference is they gave him a chance to pay, and he's like, didn't he say like I'm not gonna pay it, and he owed millions of dollars.
You tell the fucking government you're not gonna pay him to see what they do. Listen. Let's say, I don't know if you guys know this. Let's say you're on fucking. Let's say you robbed somebody. Let's say you wrote checks.
Okay.
And you sent out 20,000 in checks. And you do 10 years for that. When you get out of prison, you got to pay those residuals. Let's say you got to pay $5 a month. You will stay on parole till you pay that off. So the quicker you pay that off, the quicker you'll be on parole. They don't fuck around.
Yeah.
How much do you owe in restitution? 40? We're not going to let you go. So you're going to end up in jail because you don't want to pay the fucking 40,000.
Yeah.
They will take, everything is all about paper today. But as long as they get their paper, they won't be mad at you people. That's a legit fucking statement. So please, if you owe that shit, when I read that yesterday, I go, they're not going to throw him in jail. They didn't throw me in jail, and I walked in there when I was fucking 39 or something. I walked in there. I hadn't paid taxes in years. I hadn't paid taxes on child support. I didn't pay shit. But I went in there, and I don't want you people to think, oh, Joey, you. No, I didn't step up to my responsibilities. I have a woman fucking talk me into fucking going down there. My wife was a solid American, talked me into going down there, and now I understand. I understand it's not worth it going to jail. It's not worth to fuck around with those. You know how fucked up the correspondence is from those people? And let me tell you something, Lee. They go right for your bank account.
Oh, yeah, of course.
They don't play. They don't ask permission. You don't even get a note from the bank. You know how you get a note from the bank? Hi, we're taking $1,800 out. Fuck no! You wake up, you go to the ATM, you go to a restaurant, you just bought the Japanese chick a drink down the corner, send that bitch a drink, send that bitch a drink, and your card comes back declined. That's a long fucking day for you.
Oh, no. That'd be terrible.
And that's it. What else can I fucking tell you? It's a beautiful day to be.
Is someone knocking on the door?
Yeah, can I come in?
Yeah, come on in here, beautiful.
Alright.
The fuck is this and shit?
Hi guys. I forgot that you were doing a podcast.
You forgot?
And
What
I
kind of
was,
shit is this? This is Lee's beautiful roommate.
Throw my bra real quick.
What's her name? What's her
Sorry.
This is Ashley.
Ashley, because I thought I was going to say Cassandra. Well, I keep thinking of Cassandra. What's happening, Ashley, with a fucking flower in your head?
Not
Come
much.
over here, say hello in front of the camera.
Oh God, come
So I
on.
hear the fucking voice. Say hello. Come over and say hello and shit. Go over here. Come on over.
alright.
Say hello, you fuck. Say hi.
Where am I? How does this work?
That's the-
Oh man, hey.
That's it. That's Lee's roommate, the one I've been talking him into attacking in the middle of the night.
And it has
She's a
nothing
cutie.
but-
I say rip that fucking flower off her head, Lee. Look at Lee. He's turning red now and shit.
Jesus Christ.
Look at that, Lee. Look at those sexy fucking bras she wears. Look at that
Yeah,
leopard
the-
bra. What
the
would you do if
leopard
you
one, the
ripped that motherfucker off?
Yeah, she.
I caught him sniffing one of your bras the other night. This little pervert Jew cocksucker.
I sniff his underwear.
It's what?
Ah,
He
nothing.
sniffs your underwears too?
I'm sure she does.
See, Lee? And you got those cute underwear. You still wear those leopard underwear, Lee, with the fucking flowers?
You know.
With the fucking Israeli star on it? By the dick. That's what we gotta make, Lee. Underwear with the Israeli star and the pee hole comes right out of the fucking star in the middle of it.
Oh
Have
my
a good
God.
day, beautiful.
Thank you.
What do you think about that? See? That's a fucking idea. You call me up, he wants to make Jew shoes now. I did a
What?
joke about Jew shoes. He wants to be in charge of Jew shoes. Those Jew shoes I talked about, the ones that Hasidic Jews chase you.
That's your idea. I
What do you
like
think?
the alarm clock.
You like the star of David, and your dick comes out of there.
They won't let me come. They won't let me back into Israel if I
I
make
guess they will. They'll let you in as long as you have your cash. Listen, you know how many millions of underwear you could sell with your dick sticking out of the star?
Yeah, to fucking Palestinians who want to burn them. No one's gonna.
No. Fuck the Palestinians. You're gonna sling dick with that. You take the dick out of your fucking Star of David and you take a picture for Playboy. Are you kidding me? You know how many fucking Jews will buy those on? Wait, that's it. I gotta go hang out with real Jews. You're not thinking. It's a beautiful day to be alive, cocksuckers. Get out there. I love you guys with all my heart. Thank you very much for paying attention to the podcast today and for listening and for supporting Lee on his fucking juice weight loss. You been shitting lately? You all right?
Not much, man.
What happens when you bang out? What comes out of your little pikiak?
Same stuff.
It's still thick and shit? Or does it
Yeah,
smell like
it's not
celery?
green. But
Does it smell like celery, your little pikiak sperm?
I don't, like I said, I don't taste it. I
You
don't smell it.
Look at this
No.
guy here, knock on the wall. Look at that guy. Look at this guy. Cocksucker. Look at that fucking beauty.
Everyone who lives in my complex is like 80 million years old.
Good. They serve breakfast here or anything?
No.
Get it
It's a
together,
fucking apartment
cocksucker.
complex.
Don't forget, Sacramento this weekend, we ain't fucking around. Don't forget to go to onnit.com. Put in your order for either Strong Bone, try out the Shroom Tech for your immune system. Put Church in the box, CHURCH in the box. Get your little discount, get put on the mailing list. And on top of that, they'll send you email alerts whenever they have sales. Or send out t-shirts. Or get a chick to do Alpha Brain and suck your dick. You ever chick suck your dick on Alpha Brain? She's focused. Anyway. Did I do shouts out today, cocksucker? No, I didn't do shouts out. How about Chris Boyce? How about my man Art Skier? How about my man James Angler? How about my man Pellegrino? How about Metal Brad 420? Where you been, cocksucker? How about my bad Brandon Cardi? I love you fucking people. You understand me? Get your shit together. We're part of the church here. It's a family. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm so fucking high. That bubble gum fucked me up. It went right into my system. What do you got to end the day with me, Lee?
I got some.
And don't forget, he got new hoodies. He got new long sleeve shirts. Support the podcast. Everybody always calls me up, want to donate $3. How am I going to take your fucking dollars? Put $3 together 10 times. Get a fucking t-shirt. We'll get this party started, all right? Have a great fucking week. I love you guys. God bless you. Remember, next week is Holy Week. We're going to have a priest call in and a fucking rabbi on next week to explain. I'm serious.
Oh, cool.
You don't fuck around, dog. I love you people. Have a great day. Stay black.